All right, look what we have here. I've got plants in my hand. Plants. You're going to wonder, what is Dr. Cassar going to talk about now? Well, what I have in this hand here, I have a plant called the sage plant. And the sage plant is like when you talk to a person that's smart, what do they call them? A sage. And a person that's really smart, they call them a master sage. Now, you look at this leaf, and you'll find out that this leaf right here has holes in it. The sage plant, of course, is beautiful, and you'll see that it's got a nice flower to it, and it's sort of like parasite-proof, as I'd call it, because that's why you call it the sage plant. And now when you look at this one, and this plant is, we're relating this to bodies that have minerals and certain types of things inside them that keep away parasites from doing this. That's not cool on a plant, and you can see that something's eating this thing alive. But you can look at this plant on the other hand, and this plant is abundantly beautiful, and it doesn't have one thing wrong with one leaf. Now, the reason we're showing you this, what's called a parable means that we're going to show you an idea, and then you're going to switch it over to the body. The body, remember, is very sort of like similar to this phenomena. Why does one plant get picked on versus another one doesn't? I mean, holy, I guess you can call that unholy, really, because that's not cool to get eaten. And this plant would be holy, of course, because it's all whole. It's fully whole. It's complete. And the reason being, now, let's show you a couple of different things that we would say are very interesting. Now, interesting is that this is called the pepper tree. And the pepper tree is a tree that's a non-deciduous tree, so it grows green all year round. But you'll notice that this tree actually has sort of a problem with its branches, its leaves. You can see how this one right here is actually totally dead. It's brown. Look, twig, blink, bink. And this is just a branch off of a tree that's sick. And you can see how these leaves here really don't look like these ones, but when you look at these leaves up close, let's get a real close-up picture. You'll see these leaves have little holes in them, like little, sort of like, I don't know, it looks like a disease. Like, look at it. They're holes. And what it does is it causes the plant to turn into that. These are what I call parasites. Forget what you really think. Oh, it's a bug, it's whatever name it is. That's all science. The science is that something's wrong with this plant, not what are we going to name the sickness. Now, when we look and see beautifully how a normal pepper tree looks, you can see how this plant is green, vibrant, and all the leaves have full capacity to them. So this plant is very healthy. Now let's switch this over again, the parable. Let's switch the plant idea. One plant that's healthy, another plant that's sick. Let's switch it over to the body. One body that's sick, and one body that's, of course, not. And remember, the body's just the way you navigate in the third world or the third dimension, because the mind, of course, is pretty important too, plus this other energy center called the heart, and of course the bigger energy center called the ethereal body, which of course is this type of energy that is alive. So if the plant is alive and it has its energy, okay, you can see how the plant is healthy. And here's another plant. This is a bougainvillea, very healthy and beautiful, and each of the leaves, nothing is touching them. You can see beautiful bougainvillea right here. Wow, look at the colors on this thing. Now, this plant doesn't have any disease. It's in full flower. I mean, go ahead and take a view up there and really take a look at this beautiful specimen. And this tree, well, it's a tree really, but it's a vine, but it's a tree. Really grows here as long as it has the right nutrients and it has the right things that promote life. Remember, plants only need 15 minerals, a little water, and a little sun to give them, well, life. But the body, of course, is the same thing. It needs not just 3 minerals at the store. Remember, most of the food you get at the store is NPK. I give all our plants here organic fertilizer, a full spectrum of non-chemical, non-synthetic fertilizers. My body's the same way. I give my body fertilizer too, non-chemical, non-synthetic fertilizers, and those are in the form of minerals. See, plants need minerals to conduct the sun. So if you have at least 15 minerals, and remember, plants are pretty easy to grow. The body's way more complex. Remember, it's way more complex than a plant. But again, remember, look how intelligent a plant is. A tiny seed, and it turns itself into this beautiful tree, or again, a vine. Now, the idea again is this plant and this body are exactly the same. If this is starved of nutrients, starved of water, starved of light, it doesn't flourish. So I found this out. It's taken me many years to be able to figure out we're just plants. And if you eat plants, you get vibrant, because a plant is like super vibrant. Why? Because it gets its energy where? Directly from the source, directly from the sun. So if it goes directly from the sun, you'll find out, well, if I'm going to be healthy, wealthy is information, and happy, that means that I got to have the right conditions. So the conditions that we're showing you are very simple. Here's another plant. This is an aloe vera type of succulent plant. Look at this beautiful thing. Nothing has bothered it. It's a little dry at the tip, but it doesn't have any parasites. It doesn't have anything wrong with it. So this is what's called shielded from the parasite world. And so as long as I have my minerals, as long as I'm hydrated, and as long as I have the right things that this machine needs, it does need sun. Yes, it does. When someone tells you it doesn't need sun, I disagree with that. Now, one of the things, remember, if you're going to get out in the sun, is you got to make sure your skin's clean before you think you can be like a plant, like a solar panel. You'll notice that plants really grow in Hawaii good. You know why? Because it rains all the time, because it washes off the solar panels. And in deserts and different places where it's dusty, the plants don't grow as good because the solar panels get shielded with dust. Our bodies are the same way. Our solar panels are the skin, and everything below the skin is like the dust on the plant. It shields us from the sun. So body fat, remember, is a creature. It doesn't like the light, and it doesn't like energy. Energy, remember, is really why we eat. Energy is the only reason why you're actually watching this video. This video, remember, is produced by energy. When you think, when you actually laugh, when you become this really sort of intelligent person, do you think that takes energy? Of course. You worked hard all day, you did a lot of thinking, or maybe you were stressed. Energy is what you need. You need to eat food, get sunlight, get water. Okay.